CBS has just announced that they will be killing The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. And the question on everyone's mind is it for the reason they say, or is this just more surrender to the desires of Donald Trump? And the answer is complicated. It's yes, but we're gonna give you more details, okay? Because Stephen announced this to his audience live last night on the show. It sparked a loud round of booing, to which the host responded that he shares such sentiments. The unhappy news is apparently still fresh to him. He said he just found out the previous night, quote, "It's not just the end of our show, but it's the end of the Late Show on CBS. I'm not being replaced. This is all just going away." Now, we're gonna give you their statement, and they're implying that this is a financial thing, although there's a lot of reason to not necessarily believe that. And they're not just firing him, they're getting rid of the whole show. But I also think that if they were to get rid of him and put someone else in there, then that would be even more transparent. Now, it's a big move to kill the Late Show. It's been around for so long. But if they kill it now and then bring it back in 3 years with a new host, maybe that buys a little bit more plausible deniability. We're in the realm of speculation, but that's what I'm thinking. That said, here is what CBS said. They said this is purely a financial decision against a challenging backdrop in late night. It is not related in any way to the show's performance, content, or other matters happening at Paramount. And there's a couple interesting things in there. So one, if it's purely a financial decision, then doesn't the show's performance have something to do with it? In particular, its performance, which seems good. It regularly tops the Nielsen's ratings, outstripping competing talk shows, attracting over 2.4 million viewers across 41 episodes in Q2 just of this year. And so it was doing well, and you're saying it's a financial decision. I thought shows that performed well did well financially. Maybe not, I guess. So that's what they say. Now, other people believe that CBS, which has already in a separate legal thing, and Paramount, who has some business goals in mind that Donald Trump has shown a massive willingness to get involved in, could be doing this just to give Trump what he wants. Trump hates Stephen Colbert and has for a very long time. CBS has already surrendered to him on other matters. And so Trump sure seems happy coming out of this, posting on True Social, "I absolutely love that Colbert got fired. His talent was even less than his ratings. I hear Jimmy Kimmel is next, has even less talent than Colbert." And I don't know if Jimmy Kimmel is next, but Trump doesn't like Jimmy Kimmel, so could it be? Maybe. Now, so Brett, it's not cut and dried. Like these shows do make less ad revenue than they used to. Viewing patterns change. There's no bigger gap than there is between late night TV and TikTok or whatever. But it just seems like Colbert specifically going first seems personal. What do you think?
Yes, it is very strange timing to say the least, but then again, it's wildly not strange timing if you know what all is happening in terms of the corporate governance structure of network television as we know it right now. So right now, Oracle, which is a giant tech company, is owned by this guy named Larry Ellison. Larry Ellison has a kid who wants a pet project, and so Larry Ellison is going to buy him Paramount. And that is sitting before Donald Trump's DOJ or whatever antitrust organization is there. Now, the argument is that Paramount looked and saw like, oh, looks like Donald Trump carries a lot of grudges and I need to be in his good graces in order for this deal to go through so that I, the current owner of Paramount, can get a lot of money from the future owner of Paramount. So maybe the dominant strategy in this scenario is for me to recognize that Donald Trump has already launched lawsuits against media organizations and gotten money for it. And Stephen Colbert is probably kind of expensive, but there's no way they're losing money on it. And then just basically say like, yo, I want to appease Donald Trump in every possible way. So let's get rid of one of the loudest voices talking trash against him. So that's the argument for why it's super duper fishy and sus right now to get rid of Stephen Colbert, especially when, as you said, it is consistently #1 in that time slot. Yeah. Relative to other shows, late night shows are cheaper to put on. They just are. The problem is, if you're taking a step back, there are valid arguments to like getting rid of this whole idea. Like John's show makes has made billions of dollars less than the late night slot on CBS. For us to put it on takes a lot less money than it takes to pay Stephen Colbert and have an ad organization and distributors and all the stuff that a network does.
I just get a per diem of Pop-Tarts, basically.
John is only a Pop-Tart based commerce man. So that's the thing. And like 11, there's slated this year alone to be an 11% downturn in ad revenue. I don't think that they only did it because Stephen Colbert is expensive. I think it was one of the reasons, but then looking around, they probably were just like, this satisfies everything we want as the company leaving the business, as the people who own it who are leaving the business, to appease, like, it seems like Larry Ellison's kid just doesn't really care much about the late night time slot. That's really what it sounds like.
Yeah, and as we have alluded to, Paramount recently just gave $16 million to Trump. It was a settlement, but they could have won that trial because it was an absolutely ridiculous case. So they just chose to give him $16 million because Donald Trump would probably have blocked their merger if they hadn't. And so Stephen Colbert called it a big fat bribe. Credit to him for the bravery to do that. Maybe that's a part of it, but the merger still requires the approval of the FCC, which will do whatever Donald Trump tells them to do. And Donald Trump is definitely petty enough that he would have told them, you get rid of him or you don't get the, like who thinks that that's below Donald Trump? Who is crazy enough at this late date to believe that? And so it will never know for sure. It'll be impossible to prove it. I know some people in the chat are saying if they take out Jon Stewart next, then it's proof. Obviously, it's a different company or whatever. But anyway, that it's my suspicion. Now, I think Colbert could likely go somewhere else. Maybe HBO, lets him do a show or something. He's popular. He'll have an audience. I'm sure he's going to be fine. But it's yet another example of a media company needlessly bending the knee to Donald Trump. If you enjoyed that, make sure that you never miss another video by subscribing. And if you want a little more, consider hitting the join button and becoming an actual member. But you're probably wondering, why the hell would I do that, John? First off, calm down. The stakes in this are very, very low. But also, when you click the join button and you become a member, you get access to bonus content that I make every week, and it's a ton of fun. You get access to tons of custom emojis and more besides that. By the way, if you join at tier 3, you even get access to a monthly member hangout with myself and other awesome people, and we always have a great time. By the way, you'll get all that going forward, but you also unlock years of the back catalog. That is literally 100 or more bonus clips, top 10 lists, debates, and more. What are you waiting for? Click the join button below. Your support powers our show, and we couldn't do it without you. Or at the very least, I wouldn't really want to try. Viewers like you keep me here. So thank you in advance for joining.